Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend. And you know I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. Today, we're going to come on and talk about, of course, the astrology. I want to talk a little bit about women's health, and I also want to review Jaime Foxx's astrology. Let's do this, queens. Hey, queens. Oh, how y'all doing? Hey, queens. Greetings. Glad y'all are here. I am blessed to see whoever is here. Greetings to the hashtag replay sisters. I'm gonna have to take the music off. It warps my voice. But yeah, greetings to the hashtag replay sisters. Also, just want to make sure I greet you all. I always appreciate seeing your comments. And yeah, this Venus retrograde has a sister all shook. I am shooketh. Mars is invisible. No, I think that's this week. That's why we're gonna go over the astrology. I have no idea what's going on, y'all. I'm a mess. That's why I'm happy to see anyone who's here because I did not do a good job of reaching out to you all. Greetings. How are you, Queen? So glad you are here. Did you see me do my little Zumba? I never could get that thing unless I'm focused. Oh, hey, Bliss. How are you? Please tell my godson I said hello. Glad you are here. Hey, Shannon. How are you, Queen? Yeah, I wanted to make a post about Jaime Foxx, and I was like, no one will really care because you had to be there when I did that live stream. So I thought, you know what? Let me pull his chart back up because I was not surprised to see all of a sudden he's here and the eclipses are no longer in Scorpio. And so I want to show you why that's so significant for him. So, yeah. Hello, Mystic Storm. How are you, Queen? Glad to see you. So, yeah, when you mentioned the G Hive, do you have your morning cup of sippy sip? I am slow this morning, so I actually do have my little, I call it my Jamba Juice. It's just like a vitamin drink. And I'm drinking out of the mug. A lot of y'all love this one. Be the one who was brave enough to go after her dreams. Yes. So, oh, wait a minute. Where's Keita May? Did I miss Keita May? Oh, there you are. Wealth Rising. How are you, Keita May? Welcome, Queen. He's at his daily workout pre-football practice. Yes. Hey, Bliss, if there's like footage or whatever, send it to me inside of my group. I would love to see him, his team or whatever it is. Okay. Okay. So Ocean Kimmy is drinking cup of Shango. Bliss is drinking OJ. Getting in that vitamin C. Shannon has her second cup of coffee. I'm a little jealous. I can't drink coffee anymore. So y'all drink in honor of me. Since I can't drink it for me. Good morning, Queen Larissa. How are you? Welcome. Okay, so I want to start off just really quickly sharing a little bit about what's going on with me in hopes that it's helpful to you all. Let me just start off though with saying that next week I'm actually just going to do the full moon live stream right here on our channel. During our Inspired Goddess Morning Circle, just trying to consolidate. There's an African dance class that I want to go to because I was thinking about doing it on this what was that? This Saturday. And then I was like, you know what? I just want to go to this dance class. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Mystic Storm has matcha latte, and then Keita May has good old water. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, send me some footage. You're cracking me up. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of him. Tell him I'm so, so proud of him for playing football. I'm so, so proud. But anyway, what I want to tell y'all is a little bit about just some thoughts I've been having around women's health. And, I'm goddess, body, mind, spirit. And so for me, it's very important to um, understand that how we take care of our physical bodies is a part of our spirituality. It is a part of the goddess centered lifestyle. And so there's outside of, I would say, being pregnant and nursing my children, there's never been anything that has just really created a massive shift in my body as perimenopause and menopause. This has been a path of deep, deep learning about how a woman's body actually works. And so I'm not trying to come here and be a health and wellness expert. I'm going to stay in my lane, but part of my mission is to help women walk empowered. And some of that is reclaiming the power over our bodies. And so I just want to encourage you all to learn more about your body. If you are a mincing woman and you're not close to perimenopause yet, so I would say if you are like maybe 44 or younger, I want to recommend that you read this book called Woman Code. Woman Code. And the author's name, her last name is Vitti, Vitti, Woman Code. I found that book when I was, and if y'all know some other books, greetings, bonjour, Diza, how are you? If you know some books, let's just go on ahead and drop books that you have used that actually made a difference in your life. Okay. So that was the book that helped me to understand how our bodies work in terms of hormones, because a lot of us don't know anything about our hormones, how they work, nothing. My journey actually started because I was dealing with adrenal fatigue terribly, horribly. And some of it was because I was just teaching way too much fitness, way too much. And I just had no energy. My nights became days. Like I would sleep all day and then I'd be all up at night. And I was homeschooling. I was like, this is not working. And I was living on energy drinks and caffeine. And I just couldn't figure out what was going on. And so I started reading about adrenal fatigue. And that's what really began to make me understand, like, there's cortisol that we want to naturally raise up in the morning time. And things like don't drink caffeine within an hour of waking up. See, I could get away with all of that before um, perimenopause. But once perimenopause hit, that's when it was like there's no cheats. You've just got to figure out how does your body work, and you got to work with your body. And so once I began to kind of start learning that, it was like this slow coming back, but it was all this hormonal stuff. Like you want cortisol high in the morning, you want melatonin high in the evening. How do you eat to get cortisol high in the morning and melatonin low? And melatonin high in the evening. And but it was, horrible hot flashes and just not feeling like I had any control over my body. And then the next thing I know, I was like, I've got to, and then of course, y'all know I've talked about my weight for years, even though y'all know some of that is mental, is not actually reality when I look back to what size I was when I was complaining at 49 and 48 and it was 45. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was not big. I thought I was, but I wasn't. But I couldn't just lose the weight like I wanted to. And so that's when I found Woman Code by Vitti. And once I read that book, the reason I want the ladies who still have their monthly cycle to read that book and you're not in perimenopause, um, is because she talks about like, this is how you eat for your cycle. This is how you exercise for whatever stage you are in your cycle. And learning to keep up with all of that, I think will just bring so much more balance to your body. And it's important for you to get that detailed in understanding how do you live according to that cycle, because it will become even more important once you get into perimenopause and menopause. And so for perimenopause, the book that I'm going to recommend is called The Menopause Reset. I just started, well, it's on Audible. Just started listening to this book this week. I thought she was going to talk about menopause. To me, there's perimenopause and then there's menopause, but she calls menopause what I call perimenopause, which is you're in the process of your hormones shifting down so that you can't make a baby anymore. Um, and then she calls where I am now post-menopause. So, in that phase where you're still getting your period, but you experience menopausal, you're starting to experience menopausal symptoms. This is a very good book, but it is good for those of us who are postmenopausal, or I just say I'm in full on menopause, because uh, everything that you have to start doing while you're in perimenopause, you pretty much have to keep up with it once your period is gone. I haven't had a period for 2 years. And so everything I figured out that I needed to do, I still have to do. And so she reminded me of some things such as, and I think for everybody, this is good, red light therapy. I used to go to Planet Fitness before the pandemic. And the only thing I wanted to do at Planet Fitness, I did not exercise. My kids used to be like, "This is the problem with Planet Fitness, Mom. People don't actually, they're not actually, this gym is not the gym where people, I don't know, they kind of just made fun of it. It's a family joke. It's nothing against Planet Fitness. My older son is like the consummate fitness athlete kind of guy. So, he has standards for his gyms. I would not go and work out. I would go use this thing where you would go in, you have to put on these special glasses, and it was this red light therapy, and it would shake. So I have, since the pandemic, I was like, okay, how do I keep this going on at home? So I found a red light that I can use, and then I have a vibration plate that I can stand on. So that was all I ever did. And she reminded me of that. So red light therapy is good for you. And anywho, Dr. Pell's just reminded me of a lot of stuff that I have kind of like let go of. But everything that she says in that book is pretty much how I live my life. Where I deviate from her is the keto biotic diet. I do believe in the keto biotic diet, but I can't do high fat. I just can't. And I have to do more high protein. So I'm more paleo like than keto like. So, but the biggest thing that you have to do is test everything, probably no matter what your age is, or what your menstrual cycle status is. It doesn't matter. You have to test everything, sisters. You have to figure out what works for your body. And we can listen and hear what people say, but the only thing that matters is how is your body responding. So that's my message today on women's health. Those are my 2 recommendations. That's what I'm working on right now. One thing that I will say is I did go down a rabbit hole this weekend because I had some friends they're going through perimenopause right now, or yeah, they're going through the change in a big way. And so they inspired me to just start looking at videos again. And so there was one lady I found. It's something like 50. I'll have to remember the name of this lady because she really this outside of Dr. Pell's, I was like, this lady is speaking my language. I like it when people talk rational. I like it when they're like, you've got to figure out what works for you. And they're not like, you got to do it this way or it's not work. It's no good. I don't like that. I don't need no legalism. I don't need any of this dogma, this health dogma. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, not doing it anymore. So I do like the styles of these ladies. Oh, I have to find her. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can just pull it up right here. But anywho, she talked about creatine. I don't even know what made me go down the creatine rabbit hole, but somebody said something about creatine. And for me, I only eat poultry and fish slash seafood. That's all I eat. I don't eat beef or bison, venison, like all that kind of good stuff. For me, pork is not even an option. I don't knock you if you eat pork, but I don't eat pork. But there's something that you become a little bit, there's something you're going to miss if you're not eating certain foods. And I know I'm missing something because I'm limited in the kind of protein that I eat. And so um I just started looking at creatine because of me working on right now I'm working on being healthier. And I was like, I just want to make sure I stay as healthy as I possibly can for all of my life because I'm getting older and I want to keep my brain fresh. And I found this woman talking about creatine for older women. And I was like, I'm all in. I went out and bought the creatine that day. And it's good for what she talked about is how we want to keep our muscles healthy. And I've heard this for years, keeping the muscles healthy as long as possible. And how a lot of us at my age, we already have what's called sarcopenia, which is a significant enough muscle loss that it could create very serious problems. But the young women are using creatine for sure. A lot of it is about, how do you look, building muscle and stuff like that, getting bigger. And it won't make women big though, but it is about making the muscles, pop a little bit more. But also creatine works on the brain. So that's something I'm just going to throw out there just in case y'all haven't heard about all of this. I'm in the process of learning. And so yeah. Did I miss Paulette? Let me see here. Hey, Diza. Let me know what y'all think. Buenos dias. How are you? ¿Cómo estás, Paulette? Yes, I love how y'all are all talking to one another. Yes. So definitely I'm struggling, Diza. But hopefully in us talking a little bit about women's health, maybe there's some ideas that you can use. Queen of Fool, Heal Thyself, and Sacred Woman. Very good. Beautiful. Heal Thyself was one of the first books that I read. What I struggle with Queen of Fool, I never could get through Sacred Woman, so I don't know a lot about that book, but I do hear women raving about it. But I just can't get down with being a vegan. But a lot of people rave about her book. And you brought up a good point too. Or you're making me think about something I wanted to mention. I just want y'all to understand that we're like a baby. I don't know, if y'all have ever heard this about breast milk. Breast milk changes every day. It actually changes throughout the day. This is fascinating to me. But, like if a baby is sick, the body of the mom knows what's going on, and the breast milk will adjust to fit the baby. And that's how we are. We actually don't change. And I think women are even more sensitive and vulnerable than perhaps men, just because we do have this hormonal cycle that we go through, all the time. And so for me, being a vegan worked for a little while. It was very good. She talked about, Queen of Four talked about how she got rid of food allergies. This woman was very sick. And then she found veganism, other things too. Don't get me wrong. She's not just veganism, but that is something that she really promotes. And that did help me for a little while. And then when it wasn't working for me, I had to move on. And that is because for a time, something will work. Actually, keto is what I used when I was dealing with adrenal fatigue. I was way more keto like. I'm not going to ever say I was totally keto, but I was way more keto like. I would just eat so much. I never thought I would eat that much fat. And then at some point, I felt restored. I felt good. And my body was just like, I don't need keto anymore. And so that's when I switched to um, I talked to, or I was listening to a functional medicine doctor, and she started talking about how women don't eat enough protein, and this is animal protein, and how we need to probably double the amount that we eat. And I started noticing that, and I would say that I'm not a big proponent. For me, I don't really like a lot of meat. I never really did. But I just told myself, I am so desperate to feel better and feel like I have control of my body. I'm going to do what it takes as long as it's bringing health to my body. And so I just started upping how much chicken I was eating. Chicken and turkey. That's pretty much what I eat. And then I added in collagen because I just started noticing premature aging in my skin, and my knees were hurting. I have this diagnosis in both knees, but for sure one that I have to get a shot every 6 months in my knee, not cortisol, or cortisone, whatever you call it. It's called hyaluronic acid. But anywho, when I don't drink collagen or take in collagen, it's like more achiness. But I have to look, it's three things I have to do that's what I'm saying, y'all. We got to test everything. I have to take collagen, I have to take CBD, and I have to take magnesium. I find if I leave one of those three out, then this knee that when I first got diagnosed, the doctor was like, one day you're gonna need a knee replacement. I rebuked him. I was like, I'm gonna see how far I can go without that. Um, but yeah, when I don't, then it's like I can barely function, right? So we have to just keep trying to figure out. So that's when I brought in the collagen. I never thought in one day in my life, I can't stand marine collagen. I do the beef collagen because there's no taste to it. The marine collagen is so nasty to me. And so yeah, so it's like I have to just keep figuring out what's going to work for me. And this is just how it is for women. You have to continually ask yourself maybe even check in with your body. And you want to come up with a system where you're looking at your body or you can check in with your body. How do you know your body is doing well? Well, if you're feeling exhausted, let's use these as example. Or, well, Ocean Kimmy is mentioning that heat, 100 plus heat, that is definitely something that can make you feel exhausted. And so checking in for whatever reason you feel exhausted, whoever it is, not even just focusing on these two ladies, but it's like checking in to see, well, what is it that I need right now? And how can I change my life and operate? And some of it is going to be physical, some of it is going to be mental, some of it is going to be emotional, some of it is going to be spiritual. This is the goddess-centered lifestyle. So, Vegas. Lemon water. Oh, lemon water. I love that for the liver. I love lemons for the liver. That's good. I love that. Beautiful. Yeah. Once I tell everyone about 45. I have one friend, she's 55 and still mincing pretty regularly. That's I feel kind of jealous of her. If I could get my period back, I would. I would not have given up my period. I gave it because I had to. Because it's different on this side. But what I do notice is 45 is a time where women start kind of being like, I don't know, something different. But who knows? I always say just kind of check in with your body. But once you start kind of feeling like you're losing control, and it's just so many women, it hurts my feelings. I'm in this perimenopause group, and it's just so many women that come in that group who are just like, my life feels like it's a wreck. I can't sleep at night. I remember that. It sucked. Um, but I do like that we can talk about it more. I do like that. But for the women who are not in perimenopause, I want you to learn how to live according to your cycle. And so, I didn't do that. Okay. I don't know it. I've been too busy trying to get menopause down. But I do know that, there's books out there that help you to understand when you're at this particular phase in your menstrual cycle. This is the kind of exercise you can do when you're at this phase in your like when you're on your period. Half of us don't, especially the first day or two. We should not be pushing through exercise on those days. That I remember. I was going to skip if I did not have the energy. It's just like, it just feels like, I remember if it would feel like my body is just, it's like all the energy is going into getting that period cranked up and that blood flowing. I ain't got time for that. I would just be like, I'm taking it easy today. Okay, let me see. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? You're making the switch. Okay. Last period was 8 years ago. Okay. Did you have a hysterectomy, or did you go into menopause naturally? You could not have gone into menopause naturally because I know how old you are. Okay. Or maybe some women are on birth control. I don't know. I don't know how it works. That's why I was saying I'm not like an expert on this, but I do know we gotta do something. High vibration nutrition. I'll check that out. Yes. Keto has been a lifesaver for me. Keeps the weight off. Keto is amazing. I love keto. I can't do it, but my second macro is fats. Hi G, how are you, Queen? How's everything going? Aw, okay, cool. Yeah, I've never heard of her. Beautiful. Yes, learn the language between you and your body. Connect with the banshee in your body. Let me tell you, as somebody who's been through that perimenopause phase, that's for real. That's for real. Okay. Oh, okay, Bliss. I hope that you start feeling better in your tummy. Hello, how are you, Radiant Rose? Yes, Queen Afua is amazing. Oh, okay. So you're talking about the breast milk. Okay. I didn't know what made it different, Diza. If it's hot, the milk will come out fresh. If it's cold, the milk will come out warm. If the baby is thirsty, it will come out more watery. I don't even know how the body knows all of this, but it's amazing. Barbara O'Neill. Okay. So y'all are giving us some good leads to look into, some good sources. Barbara O'Neill. I don't know why her name sounds familiar. Yeah. It's important for us just to figure out what works best. I even do readings. Like, I asked if I should go back to eating beef, and the oracle was like, nope, no beef. Um, but I'm for people eating whatever is best for them. Yes. Yeah, fruits are amazing. Got a lot of people loving fruit on here. Okay. I thought so, Shannon. I thought that you had a hysterectomy since you hadn't had it in 8 years. And I'm like, you're only in your mid 40s. You want me to tell you something, Bliss? You should look forward to it. It's a transition that will help you become stronger as a woman, and it will make you take care of yourself. Menopause is not a curse, it's a blessing. I'm glad that you said that. Thank you for saying that. Because a lot of people think, after hearing about this controversy that's been going on between two people who are talking about trans women versus women who are, born biologically a woman, and how it's making it sound like to have a period as a woman is like we think it's a curse. Yeah, some of the symptoms that we deal with having a period can be challenging, but to have a period, to be a woman, to have ovaries and a womb and breast is a gift. Because how in the world could we have humanity without that? And to go through menopause is a gift, because where you have not been taking care of yourself, perimenopause and menopause, it's going to make you see all the gaps. Because most of us are getting away with stuff that we know is not good for us. I was a full-on sugar addict. I love sugar and sweets and all of that. And once perimenopause came, even to this day, my body does not like sweets. And so it made me reject it. The reason I'm off coffee is because I used to drink so much coffee. I just loved my coffee. And, I think I did kind of pull it back, but I could never just drink black coffee. I would have coffee that, I like mine. I remember I went on this trip to Canada, and the the guy who was like bringing us our drinks, he was like, what would you like? And I had mentioned I wanted coffee, and I told him how much cream and sugar I wanted. And he was like, so you want a little bit of coffee with your cream and sugar? Me and my husband thought we were going to die laughing. I was one of those kind. And so I had even started using erythritol. I found out erythritol is probably the best. If you're going to use something that's not real sugar, use erythritol. My body rejected erythritol. It rejected coffee, and it rejected creamer, because I used to love the dry creamer, not even the kind that's the good kind in the dairy area. But so my body just was like, every time you drink coffee, you're going to go straight to sleep. That's the beauty of menopause. Menopause has made me healthier. I'm healthier as a result of, it's either going to take you down and until you change, or you'll, for me, I just was like, I need to make these changes. And when I was in the throes of menopause, the more I did the things that I could tell made my body feel better and stop abusing my body, I wouldn't feel bad during perimenopause. So you really should just educate yourself. And now that I'm on this side, the one thing that I don't deal with, that I dealt with when I had my period, was I was anemic every year of my life. I had anemia. I don't deal with anemia anymore as a result of my period stopping. And it brings the crone energy into you. I'm not saying I'm a full-on crone. I'm a baby crone. But it brings a whole different level of freedom and life. That's why my friend who's 55, like, yeah, you say you want your period back, but she is like, this is a little inconvenient. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I just encourage everybody to embrace it. Hmm. Oh, okay. Oh, hi, Ilioara. Welcome. Glad you are here. Ilioara was one of the ladies who went through the training. I was a trainer for How to Lead Circle, and she was one of the ladies in my circle. So, yes, welcome. Glad you're here. Ah. Can you share more about why you wouldn't have given up your period? Not going through my shedding cycle during pregnancy has been one of my favorite things. So, for me, G, we do not understand. And this is the whole point of today, is that it is so important for you as women to understand your body. Most of us don't know anything. We don't know anything. We don't know anything about our hormones. We don't even understand the effects, say, for instance, of insulin on everything in our body. It can mess up everything in our body. Or I remember when I learned from the Viti book how if a woman is not um, if her body isn't eliminating enough, a lot of us deal with constipation, then what will happen is the liver will then begin to push all the toxins into the fat of her body to protect her from the toxins just floating around. And so that's how some of us get this puffiness. That's what happened to me. And I was like, okay, so going back to what Shannon talked about, I was like, I need to get on drinking this lemon juice because I've heard how good lemons are for the liver. And it became more about how can I keep my liver healthy? And I just started learning about how do I keep what is it that you need to do to keep your liver the healthiest, right? Most of us don't know anything about our lymph system. And some of us are sick because we're not moving, we're not bouncing, we're not activating that lymph system. It's not that we're really sick, right? It's we are just toxic. And then we're putting all kinds of stuff on our skin. And so once I began to understand the let me tell you, I understood it from a place of lived experience. The beauty of estrogen and progesterone and what they do for us is incredible, is incredible. And so now I'm going to tell you this too, G, because you're part of the spiritual aspirant community. The other thing is the period is sacred. You know, that blood is sacred. And I had an immense control over my period. I For the most part, the only time I ever wore something like a pad or a tampon was when I had to go teach a class. Otherwise, I was so in control, I didn't have to wear anything. I knew when the blood was coming and I could just go to the bathroom. Or if I wanted to catch it and put it on my plants or offer it or something like that, use it as a part of a ritual, I could do it. So for me, it was so sacred and a part of me being a woman and me being understanding my power as a woman. Every time I bled, that's another thing. We are not meant to go, go, go. And so every time it was time for me to bleed, maybe a little bit before, during, and a little bit after, I knew it was time for me to rest. You know, it's like that period is built in to help us to live according to cycles that's going to help keep us, healthy and well. And so when it's not until you start losing your cycle and losing the benefits the of estrogen and progesterone that you're like, oh my God, that was one of the best things that ever happened. We will think when we have those periods, we have all these health challenges and stuff, when in fact, you ain't seen nothing yet. And Bliss, don't panic. You'll be good as long as you like listen to your body and figure out what does it need. But it does require, that's why I used to think 50 plus women take very good care of themselves. You have to. Estrogen and progesterone keep you from having to do all of that, but you can just cheat. You can abuse your body. You can do all kinds of crap. But once we get to this point where our body has shifted from being run by estrogen and progesterone and testosterone to being run by the adrenals, those responsibilities get handed off to the adrenals. You can't be running off your adrenals like that, you know? So for me, it was such a big shift from I never cared about convenience. I loved bleeding. It didn't bother me. Um, I embraced it. It's just a part of being a woman. As I started, missing my periods month by month, I was just like, oh my gosh. And it made me start even questioning myself. Like, am I really a full-on woman anymore? Like, am I beautiful? It's a real big mind shift that we have to go through. And I know some people take, you know, what do you call it? Like birth control and stuff like that, and they don't have a period and they're still in baby making time or whatever. I don't know anything about that because I'm good with bleeding. Um, but the protective factor of estrogen, but I wouldn't know this if I'd never lost my periods. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I would never know it if I hadn't lost it. So maybe I would never really get it. But yeah, this one of the reasons I'm talking to y'all. This is not talked about enough. I'm not trying to be an expert. It's a lot of people out there who you can go and listen to, and this is the work that they do. But for me to be a woman, to let's talk about sacred woman, to be a sacred woman is I have a womb, I bleed, I love my ovaries, I love my boobs. I love all of what it means to be a woman. I'm willing. How do I live in alignment and harmony with my womanhood? And I'm here for it all because it's such an amazing gift. Yes, that's true. You did do NLP on texture of fruits. Yes, good. Mhm. Yeah, I get that. I do. I do. I just think for me in this society, everything can just be so, and I'm not saying this, I'm not directing this to you, G, but we live in a society that's just like, let's just conveniently fix everything. But is it in alignment with our bio? Like our biology, this is a part of my biology. And so I just, I'm a Taurus. I'm very Taurus. I got 3 planets in Taurus. And so I just lean very deep into natural, and I'm just going to go with whatever is most aligned with Mother Nature, with my own personal Mother Nature, which is our body. Our body's our own personal Mother Nature. What can I do to work with that? It messed up your period. Oh, good. Yes. Yes, Paulette. Yeah, once we've gone through so many cycles, it is nice. I don't think to myself, "Oh, I'm so glad I don't have a period anymore." That never goes to my mind. It never goes to my mind. But what I will say is I like when I go and get checked out and I don't have um whatever I told you I had, what is that called? Low blood, low red blood cells, anemia. I don't have anemia. I do like that. I don't sit and wish that I bled, but I don't think to myself, "I'm so glad I don't bleed anymore." That doesn't cross my mind, um, because I'm so busy trying to figure out how do I feel better as an older woman. Yes, yes, focus on well-being. And for the younger women, like, I'm focused on menopause, but I'm not just focused on menopause, to be honest with you. You've heard me talk a lot about it, but because it's where I am and what I'm living, but there is something that the young women need to be doing with learning their cycle and figuring out how do you live according to that cycle. There is something for you all too. So yes, good bliss. Good, good, good. Ah, good. Yes, yes, yes. Good, good, good. Hi, Jasmine. Welcome. Glad you're here. Okay. So, boom. That's I can have a conversation with y'all about anything. I know I could because I was just like, it's the G Hive. Okay, let me share my screen really quickly and let's look at this astrology for this last week. Hey, y'all do have a membership, a YouTube membership, where I list a weekly, I guess you could say reading, because I do touch on the astrology for the week And then I also give you what's going on with the moon. Living according to the moon is one of the best ways that we can enhance our goddess centered lifestyle. The membership is only $9.99. I put other things in there, like the new moon is a whole new moon video that is created where I go through the signs and help you to understand and how to use it. Because, of course, y'all know I'm about practical astrology, right? And then also things like Venus retrograde, which we're going to talk a little bit about today. So I would love it if y'all would join the YouTube membership. I really want to get this membership built up because the more people join, then I'm able to do more within the membership and, maybe do some member events and different things like that. But right now I'm just working to get more ladies signed up. It I see it as a benefit to you. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Part of the reason I have this membership is it pushes me to look at the astrology so that I know what to do with the astrology. So, and I do my best to make it so that it makes sense and you can apply it to your life. I'm gonna tell y'all something really quickly before we do this. So, um, Dark Pixie Astrology is one of my astrology teachers. She's a business mentor to me also. I love Nick so much. Dark Pixie Astrology. Check out her website. When you get on her email list, she sends out these, it's like a journal. And you go through and you write out your astrology for the month. And she tells you what's coming. So she says the sun is going to, like, for instance, this one, the sun is going to be in both Leo and Virgo. And what I do is, and this is actually how I realize astrology is extremely powerful. When I was first learning astrology, I would get these worksheets from her and I would just write out maybe one or two sentences. I would just kind of think, okay, well, what does this mean for me? Of course, I have a little bit of advanced knowledge at that point, but I would write it out. And I would write out a plan. It was like, okay, well, if the sun is going to be in Leo, that means for me, I need to be working on something regarding my career. And so I would just say, I would think, okay, what's present for me with my career? And then I would write down what I'm going to do. And she takes you through everything that's in here, right? Or whatever's going to happen for the next month. And so I began to realize that if I would just journal a little bit and just take note of what's happening, see, the goddess centered lifestyle is about three things as I teach. And the first one is called awareness, second, alignment, last one, action. Awareness is the one I want to focus on right now. When I become aware of what the energy is and what I'm working with, then it helps me to make plans and decisions it's like, do we want to swim upstream or do we want the current? Do we just want to ride with this current, right? And so I started feeling like the current is behind my back and it's taking me where I want to go when I started using these worksheets. And so what I put inside of my membership is designed to help you as somebody who maybe doesn't have as much understanding of astrology as me, help you be able to make plans in alignment with the energy that is here. And so I want you to have the wind at your back. I want you to be feeling like you're riding the wave and it's just easily and effortlessly taking you to where you want to go. And so last month was the first month I actually in a while had gotten back to filling out my worksheets. I just eked out a few things and just this week, I looked at the worksheets because she sent out the new ones. I was like, well, let me see. Oh, sorry. Let me see what happened as a result of me filling out these worksheets. Everything had manifested. Everything. One of which was work on your website. I pushed myself last weekend to get the website done. goddessbodymindspirit.com. Y'all go check it out. I did everything. I think I could put that on the banner. Yeah. I did everything I could to get this website done. And the website, it's still some stuff I'm going to have to work on this website. But I needed to get it to the point where I could make it go. I could switch my domain name to my new website, because my old website is going to renew soon. And I was like, I got to get everything off of it, get it live, and just be over here with this new one. That was one of the things I wrote down, and I can't even remember because I already put it in my I have a little place where I store them. But everything that come through, I was so excited. I even wrote to Nick, like, thank you for these worksheets. They helped me so much. So that's what I want for you all. I want for you all to have the same experience. And that's what my membership is about. So I hope that y'all join me in that membership. It's a join button that you'll see on my YouTube channel. And if people don't want to join YouTube, maybe eventually I'll create something, on my platform, my other one, that you could join without having to be on YouTube. But YouTube is just making it easy for me to do it this way, even though they take 30% of my money. But I can't be mad. I can't be mad. They want their cut. So whatever. If it's not YouTube, it's the credit card people. Always taking their cut, but whatever. I'm grateful. This is so much easier than I thought I would have if I had a brick and mortar place. So y'all, we're at the end of July. How has July been for y'all? How has July been for you all? That's right. No, you join on YouTube. It's here on YouTube. There's a button. Maybe if you go to my channel's main page, you'll see it. Or you should typically see it underneath the video. I don't think it really matters if you're on the cell phone or on your laptop. There should be a join button here on my channel. It's right here on my channel. Okay, so let's look at what we're doing for today. So I have so much sadness. Mars is invisible. And I was looking at this for the members of my YouTube channel, and I was like, oh my gosh, Mars is invisible for the rest of this year. Why? 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 And then, I think I mentioned this last week, but Venus is invisible on this Saturday. So when planets go invisible, especially planets like Mars and Venus, what ends up happening is their energy is not accessible to us. And so I want y'all to think about, what is Mars? Mars is energy, it's passion, it's drive, and it's kind of like you got a fight in you, and it's a warrior energy. And so when Mars is invisible, we'll notice that energy is just not available in a way where we can manifest it outwardly. An invisible planet is all about being more internal. It's about making internal shifts and changes. And so that's what I want to offer to you all. With Mars being invisible for the rest of this year, everyone will feel like, I just don't have a lot of drive. Mars is also focus, right? And so people may feel like they're not focused. I know I feel that way. Wow. They'll feel like they're not focused. And so the way I would work on working on Mars inside, invisible. Working on how do we channel this energy inwardly. And I would say it would be focused on what's going on in your inner world, or be focused on here's another one. But yeah, be focused on what's happening, just to a certain degree, what we were talking about. Invisibility is more of like this feminine energy, because it makes you go inward, and that's the feminine. And it's kind of like, how can you care for yourself? But you got to look inside, just like we talked about today. And then the other thing is, like, so for instance, Mars is going to go invisible inside of in the sign of Virgo. So it's like, what is Virgo about? Virgo is about health and wellness. And so Mars invisible in Virgo is making you look at inside. What is it that you need to do? What internal shifts need to happen in order for you to, be on track? What internal shifts do you need to focus on? Um, or you'll get this message internally of what you'll need to focus on once Mars goes visible. And you want to have a place where you write it down. And it's good. I know it'll be invisible inside of Libra. Whoa, that's where the eclipses are there now, y'all. And so, what is that about? I'll say the word balance and harmony. So you'll go inside and it'll have you focused on where do you lack balance and harmony on the inside. And maybe it'll bring up you'll be thinking a lot about relationships and what went wrong in this relationship, or what is it that you need to learn in order from whatever relationship, or to have better relationships, or something about relationships. But it's more of like this internal shift that the invisible planets allow us to have. Yeah, Venus being invisible. Now she's only going to be invisible for a month. Thank the goddess. Because these are two planets that are very important to me. Mars is the ruler of, so let me say this. If you're Scorpio, sun, moon, or ascendant, if you're Aries, sun, moon, or ascendant, Mars invisibility will make you feel more slowed down and introverted. Actually, Scorpios may feel okay with an invisible. No, we're going to feel tired. I always feel tired with Mars invisible. Mars retrograde is more like scorpionic energy, because it's a slowed down energy. Scorpio is like, it can get very focused, but it's always going to come up with a strategy first. Whereas Aries is just like, bam, let's do it. Right. But with invisibility, we can feel like we don't have a lot of energy. We feel a little bit slowed down. Everyone's going to feel this way with Mars invisible, but for sure, the Scorpios and the Aries. Now, if you are Libra, or if you are, let me see here, Libra or Taurus, Venus invisible can make you feel that way. That's why today I was just like, I have to accept I'm not together this morning as I get ready to go live. I'm glad that y'all are here. The goddess takes care of babies fools of Tirra. But anywho, this can mess with everybody's money. You might just kind of feel like, where's my money? Or it could throw off a relationship. You're like, everything was going well, and then all of a sudden stuff just got rough, because not only is Venus retrograde, she's also invisible. Or not only is she invisible, she's also retrograde. This is a planet that is, I want y'all to see these planets when they're invisible and retrograde. They're in utero. That's why I was like, it's very feminine energy. They're in incubation mode until we can see them again. And then they're going to be rebirthed. So yet again, the planet's teaching us there's a time when we need to be more incubated. I told people in July, don't ask me to show up for any event that you have. I'm doing one today, tomorrow, and Friday, but it's at the end of the month. But for the most part, I told everybody, don't ask me to do anything in July, because I knew the energy was just slowing down. And this whole month, I have just felt myself getting more and more contracted, like I'm going back into the womb myself, right? And so these planets are giving us an opportunity to slow down. That's why I keep saying, if you are tired, then you have to honor it. You will feel like you're banging your head up against the wall. If I wanted to knock this wall down and I was just banging my head against it, this wall is not going to get knocked down that way. That's what happens when we're in this time of just slow down, be more relaxed. And then you just have to kind of pace yourself, because it's stuff that we still have to get done. But it's how you do it is that matters the most when we have all this kind of introverted energy. But yeah, so we're going to have 2 planets invisible. We have multiple planets retrograde. OMG. Okay, so we have here tomorrow Mercury conjunct Venus. So whenever there's a conjunction, that means it's a new start in something. Let me pull up what this looks like. I always like to look at the chart tells me something. Okay, here in Leo. Oh, okay. So I love that. Venus and Mercury conjuncting. So we're going to get a new beginning in Leo. What I think that that's going to give us is some new ideas. If you've been working on something, you might get like some new ideas on how to complete it. It might be a new way of doing something that you've been working on for a while. It's like you get a reboot. It could be there was some idea that you had, you forgot about it, and it's going to come back to you. And you'll just have all these creative juices flowing around it. You may not take action, but you will feel like there's a lot of um like just like it's this swirl of creativity just around this idea. And once Venus and Mercury are moving forward direct, it might be a better time for you to, because Mercury goes retrograde next month. So once both of them are out of their retrogrades this time around, then you'll have that energy to move forward. And with um Mars being introverted, Mars is actually a planet that has to do with strategy. So it may be that this is a time for us to be working out some strategies. And so all of this combined this week is definitely leading us into this place of like, okay, I may not be moving fast right now. I may not be able to move forward like I want to right now, but you're definitely coming up with strategies. And that is very important. You're coming up with that strategy that's going to be able to take you forward. When we're dealing with retrograde and invisibility, it could be this path to being connected to your intuition, because you can't depend on like physical stuff happening. It has to be something from the inside that is leading and guiding you. So it could be you're just downloading all these beautiful strategies on, whatever the next steps are that you want to take. It could be personal, it could be professional, whatever it is, you're going to get that strategy moving forward. um Roller coaster. Oh, aw. I hope that, yeah, Bliss, I'm sorry to hear that it's been so rough for you. I hope that you get some relief soon, okay? Oh, I went to the wrong thing. Sorry about that, y'all. Let me take that one down. That's why I don't have any open tabs. That was my group, so you're gonna feel it. Yeah, you're gonna feel it. Yeah, I really do think new ideas are gonna come through for us. Yeah, I think new ideas are gonna come through for us. Okay. Okay. So, oh, okay. The full moon is on. I don't know why I thought it was on the second. Hold on one second. If it's full moon in Aquarius is on the first. Okay. So I guess I'll go live on the first and do that on the first. I don't know why I thought it was on the second. I am a hot mess right now. Let me move all this stuff. Okay. So I just want to say I'm proud of myself. I've been doing the full moon live streams for 2 years, and it started with the full moon in Aquarius. One of my coaches invited me to do a full moon workshop or circle inside of her coaching program. And after that, I was like, shoot, I'm going to keep doing this in my community. This was fun. Okay. And then Mercury opposition Saturn on the 2nd. So let's go back. I totally skipped over something. Mercury goes into Virgo on the 28th. So Leo, it's been great. Uh, Leo's one of my favorite seasons. But you know what? Virgo, your time is here. Happy birthday and happy Virgo season to everybody who's Virgo. Happy Virgo season to everybody in general. Mm. Now, I love Mercury and Virgo. I love that Mercury's in Virgo with Mars right now, too, actually. Because Virgo is the season where we actually get to kind of look and see what's working and what's not working. We can get our to-do list together. It can help us to really get organized. That's part of why we have the retrograde and the invisible time is we can't live in go, 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 go mode all the time. We need a break, right? And so Mercury in Virgo is going to help to, first of all, it does very well in Virgo. So we'll feel good about troubleshooting and to-do list is also one that where we can focus on our health and our well-being so we can really get some inroads around that. We started off today talking about if you don't feel aligned with your body is not happy with something and is trying to give you a message because you're experiencing something where you're like, this doesn't feel good. Mercury and Virgo is going to be able to help you to take that time to do what we said. How do I test it? How do I, how do I figure out or what's going on? What is going on? And so Mercury and Virgo can help you in that regard regarding your health and well-being. If you need a job, even though, man, I just am kind of legalistic. Now, this is one place where I am a little legalistic just because I've tested it and it just didn't work out for me. If you could just get your job after September the 15th, that would be great. Your new job after September the 15th. But, the world doesn't operate based on astrology. So we have to do what we have to do. But it could bring you a really good job, a new job. Or if you have employees, you need some new employees. It could help bring new employees on board. It's just a really good, let's get some stuff done type of energy. And it's also about lifestyle. Could it just really help you focus on your lifestyle? And Virgo is a sign where it's kind of like we look at where everything is wrong and everything is a problem. And then we go into Libra, which is the refining of a thing. And that's when we are able to actually bring things into balance. That's how, each sign like leads to the next one. Leo is like where we get all these creative ideas, but Leo is not necessarily the one that's going to do all the small little baby steps to make them happen so that it's like as big and beautiful and great and grand as Leo likes it to be. Is Virgo that does that. And then it's Libra that refines it and brings balance and brings elegance and just like takes away all the rough edges. And then, we could go on. I don't even want to bring up Scorpio right now. No disrespect to the Scorpios. Let's see here. You analyze. Yes, yes. Hey, Natasha, welcome. Glad you are here. Hey, Felicia. I need to create that graphic where I said, or I need to create the little banner where it says, please like the video. Yes, thank you, Felicia, if y'all would. Like the video. That is one way to support the channel. Hi, Felicia, Natasha. Okay, sounds good. I'm currently waiting now on this final job offer, and it feels like it's taking forever. It's going to come. It just, everything is moving very slowly right now because of the retrograde season, Natasha. So since it's already in the works, you're good. But yeah, that's part of being in retrograde season. We slow down. And so once Virgo goes into Scorpio, then that means it's going to be what we call opposing. It's opposite of Saturn. which is in Pisces. Now, whenever we are dealing with Virgo and Pisces, is asking us to look at work-life balance, is also called the suffer or serve axis. And so the question is, who are you serving? Like, there's volunteer stuff that we might need to do. I've found I've been so into my Pisces energy here lately. It's kind of like, how can I, make somebody smile? That was one of my biggest things that I would do as a remedy for Pisces, is just when I felt down and out, I would see, can I do something nice for somebody else? That's just part of what it means to be a Pisces. You do something for someone else, not expecting anything in return, but when you're in service to other people, when you do something nice for somebody else, it just feels so, so good. So it does have to do with being of service. Virgo is the nonprofit volunteer sign. um, so yeah, that would be something else that I would say. Maybe something like that is coming up. I need to go start being in service to my alumni chapter. I might do that. They're doing a summer send-off for the ladies that are going to Spelman and the young men who are going to Morehouse in my area. And I've been thinking about doing it, but I'm just like, I don't want to go. And it feels like, I don't know what to say, but I'm going to think about doing it. Or find something to do. I've been saying I wanted to get back to donating to Heifer International. So maybe that's what I'll do also. Donate to Heifer International. What do y'all do when you are being of service to other people? What do y'all do when you are being of service to others? It's like, I love doing this because it makes me feel so happy. I love donating food. Sometimes I buy stuff and I have a very good plan for it. And I'm just like, you know what? Let me just take this to the food pantry, and someone else will be able to benefit from it because I'm not using this well. So, okay. So then the other thing that we're going to get, which looks like a nice little transit, is Mars trine Jupiter. Now, so this is what I'm going to tell y'all. Mars trine Jupiter, I want to say maybe around the 30th to 31st of July, August 1st, 2nd, and maybe 3rd. Those may be times where we feel like we have energy, and we have the full moon in Aquarius. So if you feel a little bit slow, see, do you have more energy during that time? And you can kind of push yourself a little bit. So I really love that. The astrology is nice, y'all. Y'all remember that astrology that we had in 2020? I would see people go to talk about 2020 astrology and get sick. That's how hard that I did it. I got sick. I got so sick. I did this presentation of some sort because I was trying to get people to enroll in the 2020 masterclass, is what I called it. And I got sick as could be. That was at the end of 2019. Oh my gosh, I probably had RSV. I thought I had COVID before everybody else had it, but I don't think that's what it was. I think it was RSV. That was the worst cold I had ever had in my life. I never wheezed one day in my life, but I wheezed with that. With that cold, I had shortness of breath and everything. And then I had a friend who was wanting to talk about it. We were like trying to put something together. She got sick. I was like, 2020 astrology is taking us out. 2021 astrology sucked to talk about. I hate it. I was like, can we just get good astrology? 2022 was pretty rough, but it was better. But 2023 is much nicer, especially now. So I'm excited about that. So I told y'all I was going to talk about Jaime Foxx. So I want to do that. Cancerian just chilling for a cool moment. I love that. Okay. Love that. Just gave to the homeless yesterday. I bought a lady a bottle of water. That is so beautiful. It makes such a difference. Random acts of kindness really make a difference. Thank you. helping my mom's reparations org. Okay, by donating work hours. I love that, Diza. I'm constantly in service as a Virgo. I'm serving daily, even if it's just showing support. No one thing in particular, but I'm always giving. Of course, that's Virgo. I love that, Ocean Kimmy. I donate clothes, give to the homeless every chance I get. Being of service to others is one of the main reasons I'm in healthcare. I love that. Yeah, the G Hive is just so generous. No surprises, right? No surprises. No surprises there. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Jaime Foxx. Just being present with those who reach out to me. Yes, that's it. That's it. Okay, y'all. Last little bit that we're gonna do today. I'm not gonna take us through a meditation. My apologies. Next week I'll be back on it for you all in that regard. Okay, so let's see here. I want to do the transits. So what I remember noting with Jaime Foxx, I don't know why I thought his moon was in Scorpio, but I knew he had something with Scorpio and Taurus. And I want to say, let's see here, back in May, we had an eclipse at 28 degrees of Taurus, but we also had one at 14. No. We did not have one at 28 of Taurus. We had one at 14 of Scorpio. And then, yeah, I'm just going to go with that one. We had one at 14 of Scorpio. And so if we think about the degree of the eclipse, you can go 10 degrees on both sides of it. It's going to include 10 degrees out from both sides of it. So if it was at 14 degrees of Scorpio, that means it was hitting up this Venus, okay? Because this Venus is 7 degrees away from where that moon was. And then it pretty much was right there opposite this moon. I mean, because it was 14 degrees of Scorpio, which means that there was a part of the eclipse, because the eclipse happens in both of these signs. It happens in two signs at one time. Even if the eclipse is happening in Scorpio, Virgo is feeling it 100%, right? So it's as if his moon completely got hit up by that eclipse. Now, the part of the eclipse that's about releasing and letting go is down here in Scorpio. So it was like sloughing off something with his his Venus. And look at where it happened. I don't even remember if this is the accurate birth time, but I'm going to go with it. This is all happening. Yeah, it must be accurate for me to have this chart pulled up. So this is happening in his sixth house of health and wellness. So that alone, even if he didn't have this moon over here, if he only had this Venus over here, that alone could create some havoc for him. I wonder if it had something to do with his heart. And the reason I say that is because Venus rules Libra, which is on his fifth house. Like, if I want to know what is this going to affect, then I have to look and see, well, the signs that Venus rule, where are they in his chart? And that'll tell me what could have potentially been impacted, right? So it impacted his Venus, which means that it could have impacted his heart. The fifth house has to do with the heart, or the cardiovascular system is something else it could have been. Sometimes it's the hair, but the back. That's what I was thinking of, the back. Okay. But the crazy part about it is when we think about the other sign that Venus rules, it's Taurus. And his moon is in Taurus, which means that if this Venus got impacted, then this house, this Taurus house, it could tell me something. Now, what I'll tell you is that all the secret, even though he came back out and she finally like emerged this week, think about how secretive it was. He wanted it kept secret. He did not want his daughter and sister, he said, knew to keep things under wraps because he didn't want people to see him that way. So it was a lot of secretive stuff around this illness that he had. And this house right here has to do with death. And he talked about how he didn't know if he was going to live or if he was going to die, right? And so, this man truly, this was a pivotal life experience for him. But this moon represents health and hormones and body and that kind of thing. So it was like his health got a double whammy. His health got a double whammy. And I bet you something was showing when these eclipses first moved there back in, I'm going to say maybe even as far back as, let me see here, 2021, fall of 2021. I bet you something kind of came up and he kind of didn't pay attention to it. But anywho, those eclipses banged him up. And that's when we heard, it was right around the eclipse time when we heard Jaime Foxx is in the hospital. And, it just went on and on and on. Well, last week, the eclipses moved into a new place. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. He is having a nodal return. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I didn't even look at this chart before we started. Let me do something really quickly. This is interesting because this is going to tell me even more about what's happening next for Jaime Foxx. So let me show you here. This is just a universal chart. You can see that the north node right here, this thing right here, this little curly Q thing right here, is called the north node. It's on the 29th degree of Aries. And that means that opposite, which is the upside down version of that, which is the south node, is now in Libra. I'm telling y'all, as a Scorpio rising, I feel so much better. Now I know I got to get myself together. I got a year and a half of like integrating everything that happened over these eclipse seasons. I'm telling you, I feel better. Aries and Libra is your turn. I just keep trying to give y'all heads up. But anywho, so the eclipses moved out of the signs where his health is being impacted. And all of a sudden, this was like last Monday, I think, the eclipses moved into Aries and Libra, and all of a sudden, Jaime Foxx reemerges. But I want to show you where his nodes are. We all have this in our chart. Everyone is born with the nodes. We have the north node, we have the south node. And look at this. Jaime Foxx is having a nodal return. Wow. This means that he's having a renewal in his whole life. Jaime Foxx just went through all of this. Maybe the universe was like, we're going to have to make sure he stays, what's the word I want to use? Aligned with his destiny. And that health challenge that came up because he was like, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Because of God. Thank you, God. He has a whole new lease on life. He didn't talk for long, but you could hear him like still like, I'm really trying to make sense of what just happened and what do I need to do with my life, So my prayer is that Jaime Foxx will maybe not rush back into working the way he was. I hope he doesn't. I'm just being 100. It's also interesting that Netflix, I don't know if it's a movie. My husband was watching it. Something with Jaime Foxx. I can't watch movies like that. It was just too much for me. Yeah. But anywho, it looked interesting, like creatively interesting. But anywho, the nodes go into a new sign. This movie comes out and Jaime Foxx all of a sudden reemerges in a video. And that's the eclipses for you. That's astrology. That's what's called a transit. And so sometimes when people are struggling, when they get a reading with me, I may not be able to tell them extensively, this is what's gonna just like fix your problem. But what I can do is give them hope and help them to understand, how long do I anticipate this happening? Because sometimes if you think, well, astrology says it's gonna last for 6 months, 2 years. It could be 2 years, y'all. I'm just 100. I've been through these transits. You have too. You may not have known it. But when you know that this is gonna last for a while, then you don't think, oh, something must be wrong with me. Instead, you just think, let me learn the lesson. It gives you an opportunity to really work with the energy so that you can integrate it. So Jaime Foxx is going to definitely move in a new direction. I think he's going to see even more success, but it may not be exactly like we thought it would be. And I just want to also bring up Will Smith. I remember talking about him, and because he has Scorpio moon. Maybe he's the one with the Scorpio moon. And he got hit up right away, when the eclipses moved fully into Scorpio and Taurus, because that happened in February. The nodes of the moon shifted into Scorpio and Taurus at the top of 2022. And then, was it 2022? Yeah, at the top of 2022. And then it was what, by February or something like that, that situation that he got in by slapping Chris Rock, that happened, and things haven't been the same for him. But you can tell when there's a break in the eclipse, because he kind of came out, and there was a movie that came out, and he's getting on video game, like he's a video game character or something like that. I saw. You see, he's doing business in a whole different way. But he has a lot of planets, if I remember correctly, in Libra. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen with him. I probably should look up Kiki's chart, because she has really, I know she's a Sagittarius. She's really been a hot topic here lately. It's really different, Felicia, but if there's a movie that's referring to women as hoes, I'm not going to watch it. I'm just not going to do it. I can't do it. It was hurting me. It was hurting me. But it's like a mix between it's like two worlds coming together, Black exploitation and then this modern world. Because I told my husband when he was watching it, I was like, what kind of movie is this? I was like, we got Jamie Foxx looking like he's in the 1970s in a Black exploitation film. And he's talking to somebody who clearly looks like he is from 2023. It was really cool. It was really cool. Okay, so I'm going to do a reading for us. Let's do a quick reading. I hope that was educational to you all. Helps you to understand, again, the possibility of astrology. So let's do a reading. Let me take a sip. Okay. I'm using my African Goddess Rising deck. Hi, Sherelle. How are you? There you go. They cloned Tyrone. That was the other thing. I'm like, what kind of movie is this? We don't never hear about Tyrone no more. I'm like, this is interesting. So creatively, it looks very interesting. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to pull 3 cards for us, y'all. I'm going to pull 3 cards for us. Wow. I pulled Medusa. I was just listening about this the other day. Oh, I think one of my astrology teachers was talking about her mythology and something we were looking at. Oh, I felt this one. I love this one. Okay. So the first one that I pulled, Mami Kumba Bang. Speak up is what this one says. You know this oracle deck is like, we're gonna bless you and we're gonna get you unblocked by just being real with you. So she's from Senegal. She's all about speaking up. It says, when making an offering to her, you must not speak to anyone else coming or going. Sing for her, chant for her, call to her. Give Goddess Kumba your voice and she'll be happy. This is interesting. Speak up, speak out, speak on it. You have a right to be heard. Who needs this? Somebody needs this. So this is what she's saying we need to do. You are betraying yourself by not speaking up. Your words have power. Own your voice. As the old saying goes, stand up for something or fall for anything. Being neutral is not an option. When you stand firmly in your truth, you have thoughts, opinions, beliefs, and, when you stand firmly in your truth, you have thoughts, opinions, beliefs, and convictions. And so she's asking you, what do you stand for today? And not only to get clear about that, but to tell somebody. And so her goddess declaration is, I reclaim my voice. I speak out and I speak up. Who is that for? Ah. Was there a book? Felicia, is that what you're saying? Or are you talking about this reading? I'm well. Oh, good. Glad to hear that, Sherelle. Yes. Okay. So Keita May, speaking up has been my best friend, and yes, in conversation for the last few days. Definitely for Keita May. Okay, cool. Yeah, for me too, honestly. Okay, so what is Medusa about, y'all? Medusa's here. Reggie Andes, that would be me. I've had my sharp pains in my throat area, especially when I heal. Oh, wow. Yes. I remember when I recently did a mindfulness retreat, the majority of us had something going on with our throat. And the teacher was like, well, apparently some of us need to start like speaking up a little bit more. Bliss. I reclaim my life. Depression and love, vibrational energy will not be welcome. Yes. Asheo. And it is so. It was for Sherelle. Oh, thank you, Felicia. I'm glad that you thought that was interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. You're right. I'm looking at my transit chart. Venus retrograde is conjunct my IC in Leo third house. Wow. Woo. Let me clear my throat. Been biting my tongue with my middle son. Goddess, please keep me from going off on him. Oh, speaking softly and clearly. Yeah, we can speak the truth firmly, but at the same time, where it's kind of like they get the point, they get the message. Woo! And with him being grown, you can amp it up if you need to. Okay, Medusa. A lot of the sisters were saying, or several of the sisters were saying, Medusa. Oh, low vibration. Got you, Bliss. I thought something was low vibration will not be welcome. Asheo. Yes. I am well loved and loved by many. And most importantly, I love me. Asheo. I love that you're writing all your affirmations. Okay, so Medusa, she's in the Temple of Shadows. And it says Medusa is feared as an ugly, vicious monster biatch. The truth? This Libyan Berber dark goddess of wisdom's rage is sacred, epic, and fully justified. So her guidance is this: you are pissed off and petrified. angry and shaking. But underneath that, you're hurt and heartbroken. Feeling undervalued is overwhelming. You can't stay silent anymore. Let your joys, hopes, and beauty rage on. It's interesting because um, Mars has to do with rage. It is a sign, it is a planet that can bring on just anger and bloodbaths and that kind of thing, blind rage. And so you remember I was talking about turning that, like, we got to work with Mars invisible, which means we're working with it on the inside. So this is one of the remedies that I offer for that, is to work on connecting with your rage in a way that's safe for you. I've been listening to a Louise Hay book, and she was saying, like, she thinks everyone, doesn't matter if you are angry or not, should just go and beat, like, on the bed or beat on a pillow, beat a punching bag at least once a week. But where you are experiencing rage, how can you channel that out? And there's rage dancing. And I remember Mystic Storm going to, she told us about going to, like, or maybe I saw it on her Instagram where she was at this place where you beat stuff up. I don't know what that's called, but you can pay to go, like, tear stuff up, right? Get that rage out. And it's interesting that she said, speak up. It's interesting. I'm not going to lie to y'all. This Venus has to do with the throat because she rules Taurus. We also have some planets in Taurus. We got Jupiter there. And so maybe Venus retrograde is going to help us speak up a little bit. Maybe it's some stuff we haven't said and we need to say it. So take a breath, close your eyes, and put both hands on your lower abdomen. And just tune into the part that feels out of control. Flood it with loving, healing golden light. And then put your hands over your heart and do the same. You have a right to your full range of emotions, including anger. Sacred range inspires us to run for office, lead protests, and shift policies. But unhealthy rage can devour your very soul. So just get clear on what's really happening. Allow yourself to feel your feelings, to see the truth. Just because you feel threatened doesn't mean you are being threatened. And the goddess declaration for Medusa is, I have a right to feel my feelings. So, yeah. Sometimes I just kind of dance all wild and crazy. Or I'll just make myself just keep dancing. I have, like, this music on that just, like, makes me feel it all through my body. And it's like, I'm not really dancing for art. I'm dancing because I need to shake some stuff up. I need to move some stuff. And I also think too, with Mercury, y'all remember we talked about Mercury conjunct Venus. It could be something, maybe there are going to be some conversations that we need to have this week. We need to speak up, because that was the second card that said speak up. That's it, Morgan. Thank you. Go to a rage room. Give him about 2 years, Shannon. Give him about 2 years. He gonna grow up in about 2 years. That's Saturn retrograde to get him. I mean, Saturn return. DJ Cool. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. It's hitting us all, y'all. I know. I have a past life that ties to the Berber tribe of Libya. Medusa is a guide. That is beautiful. Yep. Beautiful. Yes. Sacred rage. It's a thing. TDK was good for my son. Oh, Taekwondo, yes. When they were preteens. Same for mine. Same for mine. Yeah. Rage rooms. Yes. Yes. Mm. That's beautiful. I love that. It's helpful. Something else that I do too is I will turn on a song where I know all the words, which is rare. I'm one of those people who is like, "Na, na, na, na," and, then I sing just a little bit of the words that I get. To me, it doesn't even matter. The singer is singing, but sometimes I do learn the actual words, and I turn it up and I sing as loud as I can sing it, just to kind of like get that. It's like that primal energy, tap into it. So I love that. Ooh, nice. Yeah, cleaning. Screaming is definitely a relief. I love that. Good for you. Mhm. Don't stuff your feelings. Exactly. Oh. Oh, good. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Keita May. Yes. Yes, yes. And you don't need to be a singer. Whenever I'm singing like this, I'm by myself and I don't care what I sound like. It's just part of my healing. Yes, shaking. That's right. Shaking, shaking, shaking. It's so, so good. You just shake. Just think about a dog. Dogs, when they feel something, you just see them shake like that, right? I sing, dance, and create to release. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ooh, okay, y'all. I'm gonna do this last one and I'm gonna get off. Yes, crying is a good one. Yes, even if you don't know why you're crying. It's extremely beautiful one. Okay, so here's she gave us this deck came through for us. African Goddess Rising deck came through. Aizen, she stands for miracles. So this is what we can expect over the next week. Oh, she's so well, all of them are beautiful. But I don't know. This one, I just like the way she looks. Okay. Oh, she's in the Temple of the High Priestesses. Oh, she's from Haiti. Mambo, which means priestess. Aizan is the wise Haitian Lowell, which is a deity. Queen of the market. Riches and sacred initiations. Respect her as the highly venerated spirit of the first priestess. Ooh, okay. And she says, "You are a magnet for miracles. You are a miracle. What is, excuse me, what if you truly allowed yourself to believe? All things are possible. Dare to dream bigger." And I just think these two right here are helping us to clear out whatever is preventing us from allowing ourselves to dream bigger. So they're going to help us clear all of that out. And she is helping us to step into possibility. She says, "You claim you want miracles, but you take an 'I'll believe it when I see it' approach. What if you will see it after you believe it? Believe that you deserve to be, do, have the world you want for yourself. You can be your true self. Do what awakens your soul and have your desires. Have your desires." She emphasized that. This is life's miracle. If you haven't witnessed your miracle yet today, ask for it and allow it in. And her declaration is, "My life is full of miracles." So expect a miracle after speaking up, connecting with your sacred rage. Allow that energy of the rage to make you want to just push forward, queens. All righty, y'all. I'm going to be logging off because I have to be on another call pretty soon. I can rage cry as much as crying out if sadness. Okay. I love that. Hello, the healing goddess. How are you? Okay, you felt that, Reggie? Beautiful. Yes, I love that. Very important to teach my sons to feel and direct that anger, rage. Both of them work out now, and it gives them an outlet. Couldn't agree more. Well, y'all, this has been so lovely. I appreciate you all so much. I'm going to go on ahead and log off and get on to these next calls that I have to be on today. As always, I love you all. I hope that something I shared today has been beneficial to you. And yeah, just wishing you a beautiful rest of the week. And I will be sending out my newsletter later today. And so hopefully, you're on my newsletter, my email list, and you can see what I put in there for you all. I started writing it the other day. I don't remember what's there, but I put something there for you all. And yeah, just know I love and appreciate you all. You're going to make it. We're all going to make it. You're the real MVPs. To be alive at this time is incredible. We are some special, special people, whether we can see it or not. We will be studied in history for many, many, many times. This time will be talked about, and we are the ones who are living through it. We are the ones who are creating what the story will look like. And, this morning I woke up and I was like, every morning we wake up as humans in our human form. It's such a act of bravery, and you should be proud of yourself for doing whatever you've been able to do to have the life that you have. It may not be the one that you think is the best, but you're in the game. You're in the game, dear sisters. And for that, I am so, so proud of you all. So let me just see the last few comments. Aw. Appreciate you. All right, Queens, I'm going to go on ahead and log off. I'll be going through the comments for a few moments, but I do have to start getting ready for this next meeting. Okay. Love you. And yeah, remember, you're a powerful goddess. You all that. And a bag of chips. Love you.